Alright guys, this is going to be a hard video for me to do because I'm going to have to do it in like sections and parts and stuff like that. But I wanted to do my best in explaining how to get 6 stars. Alright, so I have 11 6 stars currently. And some of them I, have used for a little bit, used for 1 or 2 things. And I do it pretty quickly when I need to do it. But what I wanted to say first and foremost, this is the first thing as far as when I'm doing a fodder guide or 6-star guide or whatever the hell I would decide to call it. I'm not going to even edit this video at the moment. I'm going to edit it later. Your first thing that you have to decide is that you're going to make a 6-star. So I actually prep making a 6-star for a few days before I actually try to do it, if that makes any sense. So let's say Litica is going to be my next 6-star, which is a very high possibility, unless I get Charles, because I kind of need another win thing to combat all the Lunas out there. Angelica's out there, Deanne's out there. Charles would be great for that. If not Rin would be a good option with that constantly stripping. Alright, so first thing is first, right? We need to go over where you have to start. And the first thing that you're going to start with is your doggos. Now, your first dogs that you get are the 2-star max Mega Phantasms. You're going to pretty much, everyone knows this, I'm just starting off with the basics, is that you're going to take all of these that you have and then you're going to promote them to 3. That's pretty much the first thing you're going to do. Now, when you're specifically doing this, obviously you take the 2 stars that you've been constantly getting over and over and over again when you're farming missions. You should have a plethora of them. It should be no shortage. You should never have a shortage of them. If you do need to, you can go to the friend summon and just get some more. But just keep farming. As you're farming, you're making a 6-star, so you're gonna get more of them. So it's not a problem. Now, boom. And this is part of it, is that now you have this guy, right? So I should have a maxed out 3. Boom, I do. Now you're gonna either level this guy. Like one of the things that I like to do. Let me go back to this, right? Now, depending on how much time and how much energy you're free to play, not free to play, you could get, I think it's, what is this, 6 spots, right? Six of these guys will max this guy out. I personally will also use the non-colored ones, if it's not light, like you see how I'm trying to avoid light right now, because or this one. Don't ever use a 3 on this. It pretty much maxes it out and you lose out. I'll show you guys that. It will be beyond +9. $68 is too much, so don't use that. I know a lot of people sell that, but you don't use it. So let's see how much it takes. See, 68, it's already done at like 56, so you're losing about 13,000 EXP. There's really no purpose of doing that, but I know for a fact that if you have 6 of the blues, it will fill it out. Or if you want to go level it, that's fine. It's just, again, that's your stamina, how much stamina you want to use on that. Nothing wrong with using a blue dog and a light dog, fine. So, boom, now it's maxed out. Now, depending on, again, what kind of player you are, do you summon a lot? Like I'm summoning right now. I spent, what is it, the packs, the stupid packs, not like the big packs, the monthly packs or something like that. So I spend what, $5 or what it is, if you get both, $15 a month. Some people spend a lot more than that. So depending on that. Now if you do not do that, you might want to just do that. Depending on, and I'm going to show you why you would even have this many dogs. You'll see why. So you could do that, right? And boom, there goes your 4-star food. And that's pretty much as high as I'll ever take a blue dog. Is to 4-star like this, level 30. That's the highest I usually take a blue dog. Now I know I had another one in here, right? Poor Bass. Who's using Bass? Raise your hand. Alright, so now, but if you summon a lot, or you just did a summon session, you just went for Charles, you have leftovers from Luna, you're waiting for the next character, and by the time the next character comes out, it's broken, and you're like, okay, this is the character that I want, right? So you're going to do some summons, take these characters, these ones that you're not going to use, and then you can also do that. Now, as you can see here, I also have these 2 stars that are there too. That's another great way. So when you are out of the blue doggos, which you will be out of the blue dogs, you see I have a lot here, but trust me, you run out. You'll then eventually do a fodder team like this. So you'll eventually do this. then this will get 2-star. You use 2 of these guys, 2, and then you get a 3, and then you can use the 3 to then level up the yellow dog, the blue doggo, and then boom, then you have that. Now, never, at least in my opinion, if you want to make it as smooth as possible, baby, the yellow dogs are pretty much going to be your 5-star unit, 5-star fodder, right? So when you are, where are we at? I know there's one dude that has to be in there that's waiting. Hazel. Hey, Hazel. Show me what you got. So I pretty much will use these. And the purple doggo, which the purple doggo is, the only way you get that is if you... It's in the guild shop, if I'm not mistaken. In the guild shop is the only way you get that. I'll show you guys all the fun places. I'm just showing you guys the method before I show anything else. The method of, you know, actually organizing it and stuff like that. So yeah, so these you get a bunch of yellow doggos and then a purple doggo for the month. You get one good one for the month, and then that is how you make your 6-star. At least that's how I make mine, and I'm just suggesting this because other people have asked me to make a video on how I do it, and I only do it, like I said, when I want a 6-star. If I'm not looking to make a 6-star, then it's a completely different method. But that's pretty much the basis of it. That you take as many doggos, like, you take as many of the blues, level them up with the 2-stars, and then keep doing that with the yellows until you have 5 yellows or 4 yellows and a purple. That's how I pretty much do it. Now, if you need to make another one, and the purple you already used it, then guess what? It's gonna be 5 yellows, and so forth and so forth, right? Now, the only time you're not gonna use yellow or purples is if you are like, in this lovely situation, if, like I said, if I was trying to do Litica. So obviously if you have a dupe, it's better to use the dupe in the promotion stage, not in the enhanced stage, but to promote them. And then right now, so I have pretty much a free 5-star. You saw that I have 2 already. So I technically have 3 5-star fodders for Litica specifically. So that would be absolutely amazing if you think about it, because then I would be able to, all I need is 2 more, and then boom, that's a 6-star. That is actually how I got, obviously that's how I did Zeno. Zeno, I had 5 copies of him, so he's triple S, and he, boom, easy 6-star. Deanna didn't have any dupes. Bellona didn't have any dupes. Tamara didn't have any dupes. Kenna didn't have any dupes. Kayron, I had dupes. You can see it pretty much here on the side if I had dupes or not. No dupes for that. CC, we had dupes, so CC was an easy one to make. And that's pretty much how it goes. So it's sometimes easier and sometimes it's a little bit harder. It might take you a little bit longer, but my method so far is pretty much solid. It doesn't take me too long. It depends on how much I'm playing the game. It's how long it's going to take me to make all these 6-stars. Now, another thing, like I said, prepping. So one of the biggest preps that you can do is this. Stacking these stigma leaves to the high heavens. And I mean stacking them. And this is 4,000. So like, if I'm not trying to make a 6-star, I probably won't have this many leaves just kind of stacked up. Now, I'll do it for the video. I'm gonna cleanse these, even though I just started them. Whatever. So pretty much, if I'm trying to make a 6-star, now every day you need to do the penguin nest, right? Now, I know I've heard people say this, and I feel like, I don't know why, it's just in my opinion, if you want to make sure, you should be making sure you have as many spirit whale as possible, as much as the phantasms coming as possible. So I take the 120 hit in the chin every time. It's the cheaper option in my opinion, and then I fill them up with spirit well. And let's have Molagora. So I'll do as many Molagoras and then a spirit well. I never pretty much harvest a penguin nest ever. I don't see the point in doing that. It's only 120. This is 240. This is 180. To do something quickly, do this 120 for your daily, and then boom. Then this takes a day. So what I would end up doing is I would take this 240 and I will spam it, and I will keep spamming it until I am out of leaves. Because right now I'm trying to make a 6-star. I'm not gonna do it right now because it's gonna fill up my inventory, and I actually don't know how many 2-stars I have. But as you would see, these come in maxed out. We'll go back to the hero. And you would go boom. You would go with recent, double recent, which is gonna be, and you see boom. You'll have a bunch of these, and there'll be a whole bunch of them. Like you will have a whole slew of these things, and that's exactly why you'll probably not have that many of these because you're not summoning as much, right? So you won't have these. That's the point. This guy's name is Harassment. That's funny. All right, and then you will have so many of these, and then you'll be getting these. Now, where you get these maxed out Giga Phantasms? Well, let's see. First, you spend money. Let me. I mean, it is an option. I don't want to not say it as far as a guide. If you do want to spend money, hey, more power to you. You can get some, few of them from here, and this goes to Terra Phantasm if you want to. But for a fee, you can actually, today's Monday, so this is a really good chance to show it. If you again, it's a week. You have a choice to make. Now, every day you get at least one of these, and then if you think about logically, in the side story, there's a bunch of them, and in the challenges, you're gonna get a lot of these. That's why I have 30 right now. So if you're trying to prioritize, and again, this game always wants you to make a decision. If you are trying to make a 6-star within the week, you should be getting this. If you are not, then get the Molagora. You have to make a decision, because you can't do both at the same time. Skill enhancing has absolutely nothing to do with leveling units and all that other stuff. Skill enhancing is a completely different beast. So if you're trying to do that, then do that. But we are doing both because we have enough. And then next week I'll be screwed. Next week I'll probably, but pretty much every time I get the Giga Phantasm. But right now I'm actually needing to get the Molagora because that's what I need to do on my account. You have to make decisions for yours. But that's where you get one of them, right? Boom, bap, boom, bam. And this is the Terra Phantasm. If you're not in a guild, please get into one. It's pretty much no reason not to be in a guild in this game. Try to find one that's not super serious, because even without Guild Wars, so far, Guild Wars are only for summoning. And that's cool and all, but this is pretty much what you want to be in a guild for. Access to these things, because it will help you out a lot, especially the artifact charm, because you'll find that it's kind of difficult to level artifacts every once in a while. But this is the biggest reason right here. Every once a month you get pretty much a free 5-star fodder, which is really, really good. It's pretty much, like I said, you give one dark, whatever doggo, whatever you want to call it, and boom. And that's another one. In the side stories, normally they usually have this type of setup. You get a Molagora Seed and a Giga Phantasm. Again, this is another way. This is again why I say you pretty much, the side story is really hard to pass up. The stuff that you get in side story is just like, why would you not want that ever? So yeah, so Giga Phantasm are usually in the side story in some capacity. Right now we have the in here as you know, for $250 for a ticket for one. And last but not least is the good old daily missions. Well, actually, this is a weekly mission. So the weeklies, raising a Phantasm, obviously we've been raising a lot of them, and then you'll actually have one down here, which is reach level 30 with a Mega Phantasm, which are the blue ones. And then once you get 2 blue ones up, you will get a gold one. So those are all the Phantasms that you're getting for a week. So do it if you're trying to get a 6-star. Again, like I said, you should be planning to do this. This one is not really much of a plan. You should be doing this anyway. It's part of your dailies. And if you're not leveling at least 2 Phantasms, it's kind of, oh, you know, this is free. It's pretty much free. Do it. Do it. If you didn't know that that was there, I'm happy I let you know, because please do it. And there you go. One for the daily covenant summon that you get every day. So every time you go do your free summon, you're going to get 1, 7, and then you go to the shop and, you know, you just need 1 additional one. Guess what? The day resets, and then, or the next day. Remember, it's there for a week, so you'll eventually get it. And there's usually a side quest, side story or something that will have you above 8 pretty much every week. Guaranteed. I don't think I'll ever have to not say that, but you always have at least 8. So you might not be able to get the Molagora every week, but you should always at least be getting the other one. But like I said, if skill enhancing is something that you're more trying to do, then skill enhance. Go for skill enhancing. Just it's okay to not get the fodder if you're not looking to do that. Skill enhancing is a really smart and a really later in the game thing to really boost up a unit. Sometimes you don't need to make a bunch of 6-stars. Sometimes your 6-stars are ready to go. They just need that last oomph. Do that. And I'm just letting you guys know that because this is a 6-star guide. And I don't want to be like, but why would I not want to get both? It's like, because your resources will run out. You're not going to have 4,000 stigma leaves like I have. I'm going to go through that in like a couple seconds. So I just have to let you guys know that that is the opportunity cost of what you are trying to do. Now, we're going to go into the second part. That's pretty much that's the part without even farming EXP. Now we're going to go into EXP farming. Alright guys, here we go. It is time for the EXP portion, and this was kind of hard for me to do, or it's going to be hard for me to display this, but I farmed 9 different places. Now I want to let you guys know that I did have the Blessing of Knowledge from the $5 pack and also the guild buff. Add both of those up, so I'm at +3 during this entire process, just so you guys know. And this is how you maximize EXP anyway. So if you're not spending the $5, if you're only doing the one with the thing, that's fine. But I'm just letting you know, if you want to get a 6-star quick, this is how you do it. You're gonna spend the $5. You're gonna for the month. This is for a month, so that's why I really don't think it's that bad. But yeah, and then the guild buff, again, you should be in a guild. So I farmed 9 different locations, and I'm going to tell you what those locations were. All right, so the stage that I farmed, the first 4 stages that I farmed were the side story, because a lot of people are going to be here in the side story. They're going to be here, and they're going to do easy, normal, hard, and hell. Now, the team that I always use, I'll show you guys, obviously, is going to be a farmer, the gold dog, blue dog, and then a fodder. Fodder could be the 2-star fodder. It could be a unit that you're actually just trying to level. Obviously, if you're trying to make the 6-star, you would have more fodder oriented, but I'm just raising units. That's just how I'm doing it. But this should be technically a 2-star. This should be yeah, it should technically be a 2-star unit if you're trying to be optimal. Now, the reason why I don't do this, I know people like to do this, but this is what you'd want to do if you're trying to fastly, like very fast or quickly, sorry, would be the better word, level 1 unit. It's not optimal for creating multiple fodder, and which is what you're trying to do. You don't want to do that, in my opinion. There's no purpose of me doing that. I get 1 fodder, and stamina, the way stamina works in this game, and things are expensive. So you really can't like just funnel all your EXP into one thing, and then after doing several levels, you only have 1 fodder that's maxed, and it's just no, I don't think it's optimal. I think it's optimal to have as much fodder, as much EXP going into as many units as possible, because you need them all with EXP anyway. So that's just how I personally feel of it. And you guys can let me know how you feel. That's just my personal advice that I would give out. But let me set this back up. All right, so this is my setup, and like I said, in the 9 things that I did, this is the setup the entire time. Was a gold dog, blue dog, fodder, and a farmer. So the farmer's EXP is going to spread. As we know, they don't get any EXP because they're max level already. So that is my setup. And I will show you guys all the EXPs that I got. I'm just gonna put it on the screen. I'm gonna take my face cam off, and I'm gonna show you guys on the screen each level that I farmed. So I farmed these 4 stages. I farmed world difficulty 1-1. I wanted to showcase the absolute lowest, easiest stage in world difficulty. And then I farmed 9-3 world difficulty. This is a little bit higher up there, and I just know I could beat this stage because it's one of my urgent mission stages that I keep getting. So I know I could beat it, so I didn't want to struggle on a stage that I couldn't beat. So there we have that one, right? So we have this one, a later, early one, and then a later one. Then, of course, we have to bring in the cracks, 3S, 5S, and 8S, the crack in the worlds, and discuss that. Now, the format that I decided to use for this specifically was the fact that each of these numbers are divisible by, or it can be divisible by 120. The hell mode is 30 stamina, hard is 20, normal is 12, easy is 8. And every stage, 1-1 and 9-3 is 8 stamina, so they're all 8. And then crack stages are all 40 stamina. All that is, you can divide that by 120. So, and I'm gonna multiply it on how much it would take to get 120 stamina spent. So for hell, I'm gonna multiply it by 4. For hard, I'm gonna multiply it by 6. For normal, I'm gonna multiply it by 10. For easy and all the 8 staminas, I'm gonna multiply it by 15. That's how much it takes to get 120. And then the crack stages, I'm only gonna multiply it by 3. And then you guys will see what has the higher EXP. Normal mode is the best EXP farm, but it's obviously not the best event currency farm. But we are, again, speaking about a fodder guide. So if you're trying to get your fodder up and you still want to farm side story, you need to be doing normal. It is the best. Hard is not as good, and neither is Helm mode with really bad returns after you spent 120 stamina. Now, easy mode is terrible, but if you take the same 8 stamina cost and you were to go into 1-1, look at how much EXP you get. It's ridiculous. And then 9-3, if you're able to farm that high, you'll see that you're getting really good returns on the stamina. As we can see, 50,000 EXP to your units, which is phenomenal. Well, actually, it's 150,000 because each unit is getting whatever. All right, so the crack stages, which is very interesting, is that if you look at 5 and 8S, there's not really that big of a difference between the two. So it's more or less which one you can farm and then you go to that one. And 3S is a pretty bad, pretty bad return. Is pretty much you don't want to do 3S. You want to do 5 or 8. But it comes down to, it really comes down to what the time frame you have. So let's say you wake up in the morning and you want to get your fodder ready, then boom. If you want to dump 120 stamina in the quickest way while you're brushing your teeth or whatever, you're gonna go to the crack, and you could actually respectively do 3 of 5S and 3 of 8S. You know, that's 240 stamina, but you know that's really quick, boom, in and out. Especially if you take the energy from the shop, additional energy from the shop, you could probably do that. If you can do 15 runs, you have time to do 15 runs, then your best option is to go into 9. To go into the 9 world. You're going to get a lot of EXP if you have the time to do that. Obviously, you have to know how much time you have, and it's more efficient on what time you have. If you can't do, like I said, you can do 3 runs real quick, then do a crack stage. If you can sit there and do 15 runs, go into the adventure mode and do a stage that epic catalyst that you need to farm. That's just how it is. The side story, I know it has a lot of delicious stuff in there, but as far as EXP, it is not optimal at all. It's just not. So you have to then just make a decision on what you specifically want to do. What is your aim in the game? And it doesn't take that long in comparison to you could do that real quick, then go back to the side story, or finish the side story, then raise your fodder. Whatever you guys specifically want to do. Just keep in mind that is the opportunity cost. That's how these games work. I know some people are like, yeah, you should be able to go to this and do everything. Then no, that's not how it works. So that's just the best guide I can give you for making your 6 stars for fodder, EXP. Like I said, I do not recommend leveling 1 fodder at a time. That sounds insane to me. I don't know. I think someone did the math that it's maybe it takes less time, but I just think that it's silly when you need to make hundreds of fodder. Like, it's insane how much fodder you need to make a 6-star and to make your next 6-star. So why focus on only making 1 when you can just keep making fodder over and over and over and over again? And just for example, before I get out of here, I was literally doing my method, right? So I have, look how many doggos I have ready to be 5-star. Just from the method by constantly switching in gold dogs. I have a bunch of blue dogs that I maxed out, leveled up, and then turned into 4-star fodder that they can start using. I have a couple, not that many of the blue dogs leveled up because I've just been evolving them. That's why you see so many of them here. This game, I know a lot of people want to hold their characters, because they might get buffed and things like that. I advise against that. I'm sorry. There's no purpose of keeping units that you can't or won't use. I'm sorry, there's just nothing. I'm giving up all my Leos. Lorena's about to go bye-bye. I'm not going to use Lorena. And any character that you have and you're not using, buff the characters that you like. You'll be more invested in the game using characters that you like. And that's just, again, my personal advice. I used to hold on to every light and dark unit because you never know what's going to happen to them. Yeah. No. Just no. I'm gonna build up my Ken. I'm gonna build up the characters that I got and I like them before I don't like them. Then they're gonna end up as food. So that's what it's all about. So I hope that you guys found some use in this. If you didn't, I do apologize. I tried my best. I really did. I was like, yo, let me get all this math and all this fancy stuff out. And I tried to make the video shorter by not showcasing every single run of it. But then I ramble. So well, what else is new? Hopefully this video is below 20 minutes. I'm trying. So there it is. I will see you guys. If you guys have any other things that you want me to break down as much as I can, let me know. and feedback on this video would be great, because I definitely tried to do like some math stuff, and sometimes that doesn't always go over well. Anyway, peace.